Dragon suddenly felt alive as the chill from the midwinter's breath seeped through the cracks of his warm, oval, smooth chamber. Staleness and confinement was replaced by new sensations of freedom and vitality that continually emerged and energized his body and lungs with each new breath of cold air. The world which Dragon knew was slowly growing bigger and brighter as he pushed his scaly-horned head through the fractured and tiny brittle shell. Peering into the surrounding darkness, he could see new, unfamiliar silhouetted shapes hanging from the air. Some of these vague and twisted shapes joined with their myriad halves from the ground. These numerous and dark prominent objects were scattered throughout the vast bluish moonlit cavern. Opposite the snowdrift and icicled opening in the ceiling, at the far end of the cave was a vast, smooth, and clear, unmoving pool of ice water, which reflected the great void of blackness over and beyond it. In the middle of the pool was a small island, which held upon it a craggy tower of interlaced silver and black ice. "I see Stonefeather has awakened," said the reverberating, low, deep voice from the darkness beyond the towering ice, followed by silence. Unmoving, Dragon immediately sensed a foreboding danger looming beyond the craggy tower. Fear gripped Dragon as he silently hid amongst the shadows of stalagmites and hollowed rock. He could hear his heart pounding loudly as he waited for the unexpected. Holding his breath to hear further into the darkness and to show no movement, Dragon could barely distinguish the sound of fluttering wind over his own racing pulse. The wind grew louder and louder, closer and closer, circling overhead again and again, breaking the utter silence of his new domain. Then it stopped. Time stood still for the frightened Dragon. "Come forth, little one. I can see you in shadow," the voice returned. "Do not fear, for I am your brother." Dragon still lay in the shadows, motionless. Then he saw, blinking in the darkness, two enormous glowing amber eyes, looking toward him from the craggy tower of ice. He could now see the movement of the creature sitting atop the tower that wasn't there before. A creature very odd-looking to Dragon, a creature with a big round head that stood upon wide shoulders and tapered ever so slightly to the bottom. Yet there was a threatening and commanding posture about this creature. "I brought you something to eat," said the voice. "It's beneath the sky portal." Who are you?" quivered Dragon. The voice answered, "They call me Snowbeak." Who are they?" asked Dragon. "They are those whom wish you were dead." Dead? Me? Why?" Then, without warning, the creature burst into the air with a mighty jump, unfolding his enormous wings, dived and stopped short of Dragon's hiding place. The wind from the creature's stopping wings sent chills of paralyzing fear throughout Dragon's body. Dragon already had his back against the wall. "Because a Stonefeather you are," replied Snowbeak. Slowly, Dragon poked his head from his hiding place, and now could see Snowbeak in his frightening entirety. The sight of this predator was astounding, as well as menacing. Snowbeak was a magnificent giant snowy white owl, whose powerful wings and huge talons could carry enormous loads and produce instant great speed. The owl's eyes, that appeared brighter than normal, seemed to pierce through Dragon's soul and beyond. "Surely we can't be brothers," Dragon thought, looking at his own scaly body and leathery wings. Then back to the great owl. "We look nothing alike." "Brothers, you say? How can that be?" Dragon looked around for an escape route through the looming darkness. "You and I had the same mother. She died many seasons ago after you were born. She found and raised me from a young age and taught me the ways of the Stonefeather." Dragon lowered his guard a little. "Stonefeather?" Snowbeak stood straight up and unfolded his wings. "Look upon your silver wings and feathers. They are much harder than my own. They can better protect you from fire, ice, and other elements of destruction, including Elome." Elom? Inquired Dragon, shifting his footing for the final escape. Yes, Elom is the essence of life, an unseen, all-powerful life force that created you and me, the sky and the ground, the air you breathe and the water you drink, the light of day and the firmament of night that cradles the stars, energy which can be summoned and controlled by those who have learned the ancient knowledge of its veiled secrets and counterparts. Its power is used by good and darker inhabitants of Urthe. But enough questions for now, Stonefeather. You must be uncomfortably hungry. I know I am. He looked around, intentionally uninterested, trying to alleviate the little one's fear. Dragon, stated the little silver dragon. What's that you say, as Snowbeak turned back to him? Dragon, that is my name, I think. I remember a voice calling me that name a long time ago, before this world. Snowbeak paused, lifting a brow. Then Dragon it is. Follow me, Dragon. Snowbeak lifted through the air, dodged around the shimmering stalagmites, and landed below the roof opening of the underground cavern.